Okay, well, it's 3 o'clock on the dot, so let's get started. Welcome to this guided meditation and climate poetry, mainly focused on addressing eco anxiety. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Neetha Rajendran. I am the Corporate Sustainability Manager here at GreenBiz, and I get to work with my lovely team, Dylan and Katie, who were responsible for creating the content for this event. And on the side, I am a summer instructor at Brown University. I get to work with a lovely group of free college students many of whom have a lot of eco anxiety. And I teach on everything from plant identification to Indigenous perspectives to sustainability leadership. Education and teaching is one of my passions, so I'm really excited to be able to teach and guide you guys through this session as well. I'm also the vice president of the Georgia Climate Change Coalition, a nonprofit based out of Northeast Georgia, Athens, Georgia, particularly. So for those of you who went to UGA or know of the University of Georgia, go Dogs. I am a graduate and alumni of there, so really proud to be one. I'm also the city lead for the New York City Women in Climate chapter, which is a great community of women that gather and discuss all things from climate leadership to community organizing. And most importantly, I guess not most importantly, but most interestingly, I am an early sufferer of eco anxiety. So you might be wondering, what is eco anxiety? The American Psychology Association describes eco anxiety as the chronic fear of environmental cataclysm that comes from observing the seemingly irrevocable impact of climate change and the associated concern for one's future and that of next generations. That definition is really complicated. I like to put it as, or how I think about it, is constantly freaking out about the fact that the world is falling apart. Eco anxiety is not just a made-up word, it's actually a true psychology. There's many studies and papers published on this phenomenon, and even books. One of my favorites being a guide to climate anxiety, how to keep your cool on a warming planet. Eco anxiety is something that so many people that are living right now experience every day. There are what seems to be wildfires and disasters happening almost every other week. Every single time I think I'm doing something good by putting something in the compost or reducing my carbon footprint, Taylor Swift is flying her private jet from New York to Boston and offsetting everything. And it just seems like, what's the point sometimes? Well, you're not alone in that feeling. So many people experience this, including climate professionals. Actually, a lot of climate professionals. We work in and out with the data. We know what the IPCC has said about the 1.5 degree warming. We know what the science says. We know that time is ticking. And we know that this is not just a problem that will go away, and one that can be pushed out further. And especially those of us who are working on the net zero transition understand that time is of the essence. And a lot of times, time just really, how do I put this, magnifies anxiety. So I thought I would tell you my eco anxiety story, and we can share in our community of being anxious together. So it all started when I went to India. My family is from a town called Coimbatore in the southern part of India. And Coimbatore is very close to Kanjipuram, which is the textile capital of the world, essentially. And many factories and textile industries have popped up in Coimbatore. And so I've been going to India ever since I was born, almost every summer for 10 years. And then recently I went back and saw the basically catastrophic impacts of the environmental crisis there and the textile industry and everything that goes on there. And so many of my family members that you can see pictured here are employees of the textile industry. And the negative effects are just so visual when you go there. And I think this started giving me anxiety from a really young age. I could see the way that my grandparents' village was changing literally every summer when I went. And I saw the way that it was affecting my family's health, my community's health, and the place that I grew up and called home for the summers that I went there. So this was something that was really impactful in shaping my eco anxiety journey. But I think when I got to college, it just got worse because I started studying geography and sustainability and business and the intersection of all of that, and realizing that these things are so intertwined. And in order to make changes and move forward in sustainability, you need buy-in and action from all departments. And then that started making me spiral because I'm like, how do we do that? How can we achieve this? How do we get everybody on board when we can barely get someone to put something in the recycling bin correctly? And I'm sure many of us have had those same eco-anxious thoughts. But I'd like to share some lessons learned from a recovering eco-anxious person, aka myself. This meme always makes me laugh because it makes me think about the climate crisis and how we're all just sitting here trying to move forward, but it's hard sometimes. So my first lesson learned is community means everything when it comes to tackling eco-anxiety. Sharing your passions with those around you, leaning on the people around you to help carry this movement forward is everything. These pictures are from Earth Day 2020 when I posted on my Instagram saying that I love all my friends to collect a bag of trash because I was just really anxious thinking about Earth Day and all the single-use plastics coming out of COVID. And I posted this, and a bunch of people sent me pictures of them doing it. And I created this collage, and we ended up collecting 63 bags of trash. I think it was over like 200 pounds. And this just meant a lot to me and really helped soothe the anxiety that I was feeling at the time, because I was like, I can lean on the people around me to uplift this movement. Second lesson learned is keep going, keep advocating, and absolutely do not forget about the wins. Like I mentioned before, when dealing with eco-anxiety, there is so much negativity in the space. All the headlines seem to be about what's going wrong and not about what's going right. But there is a lot going right, even right now. Amongst the wildfires happening in Hawaii and amongst other things, there are a lot of wins, and that is because of the people that are on the frontline communities and on corporate sustainability teams like yourself, doing amazing work to keep going and to keep advocating. Some of these pictures are from my work with the Georgia Climate Change Coalition. We were a small organization based out of Athens and spread around Northeast Georgia. And we did a lot of campaigning. We collected 1,000 letters and sent it to the Public Service Commission of Georgia, and ended up getting a solar canopy installed on campus, which was really cool. I'm 3 years graduated, but I still like to talk about the wins from that because it's truly inspiring and what made me want to go into this work post-grad. Lesson number 3, you will not always be met with the reaction you want. This is another one of my favorite memes. Any of you on Instagram, please follow Meme Change. They're great. But I feel like a lot of times I go on and on talking about sustainability, and I'm always met with, oh yeah, that's crazy, or yeah, sure, like what can we do about it? Taylor Swift is flying her jets, or, there's a ton of, I think it's like 2,000 pounds of garbage going into the ocean every 1 minute or something like that. So there's always that doom and gloom mindset. And a lot of times, a lot of us doing this work understand that some of the first reactions we get to major asks or budgetary questions or anything like that is the word no. In college, one of my professors in sustainability, who also did a lot of grassroots movement work with me, told me that your first no should never be what stops you. Keep going and keep asking and keep advocating for yourself until you are met with the reaction that you want. Lesson number 4, I think we're on, is you will meet some amazing people along the way and lean on them. The sustainability community is one of the most supportive communities that I've ever been a part of, and that soothes my eco-anxiety a lot. It is not only a network that is uplifting, but one that is so unique that when you see someone doing better than you, or you see competition, at least in my lens, when I see what appears to be competition, it's almost inspiring because it's somebody moving this movement further faster than I am. And that makes me want to applaud their wins. So yeah, lean on your community. And lastly, always give yourself time to recharge. In this movement, there's a lot being asked of us as professionals in this space. we are working interdepartmentally. We are working with so many stakeholders and working across the value chain. It is so important to give yourself that time to recharge, because we cannot give to this movement unless we have the energy to fight and feel this movement ourselves. So with that being said, I would love to read us a little poem and get us started on this guided meditation. So allow yourselves to get comfortable. If you're at home, feel free to lie on the floor, sit back in your chair, close your eyes, all that good stuff. Put on some music if that's helpful for you. But I'm going to get us started here. This poem is called Warned by Sylvia Stultz. The sands of time have rendered fear. Blue skies on high no longer clear. Stars were bright whence they came, now dimmed, obscured, pollution's haze. Crystal clear our waters gleamed, fish abundant, rivers streamed. Ocean floors sandy white, now littered brown, pollution's plight. Trees towered high above, trunks bearing professed love. Birds chirping from sights unseen, gone, paper joined pollution's team. One can't blame pollution alone. As they say, you reap what you've sown. So let us plant a better seed, tear out old roots, cultivate and weed. Protect what's been given for free, our waters, skies, wildlife, and trees. For once they're gone, don't you say, consider yourself warned of that fatal day. Great. Now let's take some time to reset, and I invite you to join me for this guided meditation. If you're anything like me, you're guilty of never being able to focus during a meditation and being way too conscious about the fact that you're thinking rather than meditating. So show up to this session with no expectations of yourself other than to just listen and flow through this practice. So let's get started. Everyone take a moment to find a comfortable position. You don't need to be in a particular posture. You can be standing, sitting, or even laying down. The most important thing is that you feel relaxed and alert. Make sure that you have some openness in the front of your body. So that means you can roll your shoulders up and back, or if you're lying down, just allow your shoulders to really relax into the floor. You want to have some uprightness or length in your spine without being rigid or stiff. You want to invite a softness into your face, the jaw, your shoulders, your stomach, your knees and ankles. This balanced posture of being both relaxed and alert, being both soft and open, is the beginning of our embodied awareness. So let's take some deep breaths together. Let's inhale for 4 and exhale for 4. So release your tongue from your jaw, your shoulders from your ears, and your racing thoughts from your mind. And take a breath. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that about 4 times. So inhale. And exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Your brain doesn't need to be empty. It just needs to be steady. So now notice how your body is feeling in this moment. You don't need to change anything about the mind, your thoughts, your heart, or your emotions. You don't need to change anything about your body or any sensations that you're feeling. Just simply allow what's happening to be in your awareness. How does your body feel right now? Feel what's going on physically or mentally. What sensations are you experiencing? Where may there be tightness or tension in your body? Where is there ease or relaxation in your body? Just notice what's here. As you continue to settle into your embodied awareness, you can close your eyes if you'd like, or you can keep them open as you continue to rest your awareness on your body. Notice what's present and allow what's happening. Maybe there are thoughts or emotions coming up. Just let everything be here. Now, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale. As you exhale, you can make a sighing sound, release any tension in the body, and continue to breathe in and out. Do this a few times on your own. And as you breathe in, open the front of your body. And as you breathe out, be aware of the softening and relaxing happening inside of your body. Allow the breath to come to its natural rhythm and just take a moment in silence to notice your bodily sensations. You don't have to think about exactly what's going on in your body, but think about the vibrations and the sensations. I'm going to give us some time to breathe in and out. Now, see if you can feel the contact with what's supporting your body right now. Do you feel the chair against your lower back, against your arm, against your leg? Do you feel the cushion, a bed, perhaps the floor or ground beneath you? Just really sense into your feet or seat, allowing yourself to feel grounded. Continuing to sense the connection with what's underneath you. Bring your awareness to the pressure or the weight of your body. What is that sensation like? Even now, thoughts or concerns might be coming up, and this isn't a problem. The mind thinks about the past or the future and comments on the present. That's what it does very often. But the body is always present in the moment if you allow it to be. And if thinking happens, just allow your awareness to rest back into your body. Think again about the feeling of the air on your body. Think about your weight against the chair, how your hair feels against your neck, how your clothes feel against your skin. That helps bring back awareness. Now, bring your awareness to the breath as it flows in and out of your body. You might notice it's slowed down and regulated as we're not deeply breathing. You might want to take 1 or 2 deep breaths in and out through your nose to connect you back to the process that's always happening, whether we pay attention to it or not. You can notice the belly rising and falling as you breathe in and out. And if you're having trouble connecting to the sensation, you can place one or both hands over your belly button to feel your belly rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. If the breath is hard for you to follow, you can rest your awareness on your body's contact with whatever is underneath you, or on any part of the body that brings you a sense of ease or connection. And if you are staying with your breath, continue to notice the inhale and exhale. Embodied awareness is a way for us to stay with our experience by using our body, our breath, and any sensory experience as a way to connect at the present moment. By not pushing away any thoughts or emotions and allowing your body to just be the ground for your awareness. Take in the moment of silence and rest into that awareness. As we end this meditation, take a moment to express gratitude toward yourself for taking the time to cultivate this practice. And now, in that moment, you can reconnect to the body, to your breath, and the sense of groundedness as a way to create spaciousness, ease, and rootedness. You can open your eyes, begin to move your hands and feet, fingertips, toes. Let yourself reconnect to your surroundings as we close out this practice. And as you're doing that, I will read us one more passage from an anonymous poet. The earth is a masterpiece so grand and true, a canvas painted with colors so bright and blue. It's a place where mountains rise to touch the sky, and oceans stretch far where sea creatures lie. The trees sway and dance to the rhythm of the wind. The flowers bloom and their fragrances send. The birds chirp their songs and fly up high. The sun shines so bright, painting the sky. The earth is beauty, a sight to behold, a place where wonders are yet to unfold. From snowy peaks to vast deserts and more, everything blends like never before. There's a beauty in the earth, a treasure to see, a world full of wonder for you and me. Let's cherish this planet so rare and so divine, and live in harmony till the end of time. Thank you, everyone. I hope this provided a little pocket of peace in your day. And I invite you to use the last 5 minutes of this to use the restroom, take a break, and join us for the last session block that we have for this conference. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have any questions, I'm going to hang out in the session for the next 5 minutes.